Right, to determine if an equation is a function, you want to solve for y, and if there's a plus or minus, then we know that it's not going to be a function. So square root both sides, you're going to get plus or minus y equals plus or minus x. The fact that it has that plus or minus x means that it's not a function. Let's look at these. Well, y is already by itself. I don't see a plus or minus, so therefore, yes, it is a function. Divide both sides by x cubed. So I get y equals -4 over x cubed. There's no plus or minus, so yes, this is a function. Subtract x squared on both sides. Square root. So now that I have that plus or minus, then it's not a function. For this one, got to get y by itself, so subtract 4. Square root. Now that I have that plus or minus, it's not a function. So, not a function. Yes, it is a function. It passes the vertical line test. And, yep, that passes, so yes. Now finding the domain and range. So my domain is going to be from -4 all the way to 5. Because if I compress it, open circle, and if I project that onto the y, open circle, so that's going to be from -3 to 2. For number 8, that gets projected down, so that's going to be from 2, and it looks like it goes on forever, so 2 to infinity. The range starts here at -3, and then it's all compressed, so it's going to go up to infinity. This one, if I project, that open circle gets projected. Now for this one, because here it was a closed circle, even though that's an open circle, the closed circle fills it in. So project. So then my domain is -5 to -3 union -3 to +3. And my range, I want to project into between there, so -2 to -1. And then it doesn't start again. I'm going to erase this so it's easier to see. It starts here at 0. And project, stops at 4. Explain why the population P of Sasquatch in a given area is a function over time. What would be the range of this function? So let's kind of visualize it. So if this is time and this is my population, the reason why it would be a function is because over time, if the population were to increase, well, the population can't be two numbers simultaneously. Right? It's a specific number of people at a given time. So it would be impossible for it to be two different numbers, so therefore that's why it's not a function. And then what would the range be? Well, it can't be negative, so it would start at 0 and go on to infinity. But, we know that Sasquatch isn't real, so I guess it's 0, right? Explain why the relation between your classmates and their email addresses may not be a function. What about phone numbers and social security numbers? So if you're a classmate, so if you're a person, the question of a function is, can the input map to more than one output? So can a classmate have more than one email? And so because you can have more than one email, that's why it's not a function. What about phone number? Can you have more than one phone number? Yes. Therefore, it's not a function. Can you have more than one social security number? No. So therefore, the relation between you and your social security number is a function. Number 12. For this one, if the bases are the same, so we call it exponential equation. If the bases are the same, you can assume the exponents equal each other. And then you can just solve for x there. It says, what value of y allows you to determine the x-intercepts? For each function, what does its graph intersect with the x-axis? Write your answer as an ordered pair. So, what value of y do you use to determine the x-intercepts? Well, you assume your y is 0, and then you solve for x. So for your y-intercept, for your x-intercept, y is 0. So for example, on A, now I solve for x. So subtract 6, divide by 3. So my point would be -2, 0. D, add 4, divide by 2, square root. So you get √2, 0 and -√2, 0.